Hi, I'm Nancy.
And I'm John.
And we are J&N Travels.
Today's cruise news, travel news stories: a small town in Spain that has no sickness from the current virus, Disney buys even more land next to Disney World, and the 2 Holland American ships that were off the coast are finally allowed to come into port.
Number 1. The town that cut itself off from the world. The fortress town of Zahara de la Sierra in southern Spain was used to fend off enemies. The Moors and Christians fought over it in medieval times, and it was sacked by the French in 1812. Now its position high above the Andalusian countryside has suddenly become an asset once more. On March 14th, the Sahara cut itself off from the outside world. The mayor, 40-year-old Santiago Galvan, decided to block all but one of the town's 5 entrances. Since then, Spain has recorded more than 100,000 cases and 10,000 deaths, according to Johns Hopkins University figures. In Zahara, there has not been a single recorded case of the virus among its 1,400 inhabitants. The mayor's drastic steps have the full support of the townspeople, and especially the elderly. Nearly a quarter of Zahara's inhabitants are older than 65. There are more than 30 residents in an old people's home. Towns and villages nearby have seen infections and several fatalities. An hour from Seville by car, it's a popular destination for visitors from around the world. The checkpoint on the own access road is run by a single police officer. 2 men dressed in the protective clothing normally used for spraying the olive groves wash vehicles that come through with a mix of bleach and water. Every Monday and Thursday at 5:30 p.m., a group of around 10 people are out in the streets to disinfect the town, all the streets, plazas, and outside home. Galvin says a local farmer's tractor drives through the town spraying the streets. A local business is paying 2 women to make grocery and medical deliveries to reduce the number of people out on the streets. Besides organizing the delivery service, the Women's Association looks after the elderly who can't cook for themselves by leaving food at their front doors and arranges basic repairs for them. The town has already outfitted 2 cars with music and lights so kids can come to their balconies and enjoy them, Galvin says.
Our second news story: Disney purchases even more land near Magic Kingdom. Disney continues to acquire additional land in Florida, most recently buying more than 24 acres just west of the Magic Kingdom theme park at Walt Disney World Resort. According to a report by the Orlando Business Journal, the Walt Disney Company purchased 26.3 acres on the southeastern shore of Reedy Lake for $1.5 million on Tuesday. The deal comes just a few months after Disney bought an adjacent 235 acres for $6 million. Sources speculated to the Journal that the December land purchase could be used for a more upscale, exclusive getaway that feels isolated on the edge of Disney property. Or could this be for a new park? Nonetheless, Disney has not issued a statement regarding the acquisition.
Number 3. Holland America line that was hit with virus arrives in Florida. Well, the long cruise is finally over. Both the MS Zandiam and MS Rotterdam have docked in Port Everglades, Florida, after weeks at sea. The Holland American vessels arrived following the intervention of United States President Donald Trump. The vessel was carrying hundreds of passengers when it set off for a South America cruise from Buenos Aires to San Antonio on March 7th. Failed attempts were made to disembark guests in Chile on March 15th and at other ports along its route to the United States before eventually arriving in Florida. A total of 107 passengers, 90 on Zandiam and 17 on Rotterdam, and 140 crew on Zandiam have had influenza-like symptoms since March 22nd. Passengers fit to travel based on guidelines from the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention were allowed off the ships in Florida after clearance was agreed with authorities. Disembarkation was completed Friday evening. Those deemed fit to travel will transfer directly to the airport to fly home, the majority of charter flights. Those who still have symptoms will remain on board and disembark at a later date after they have fully recovered.
Please subscribe by hitting the subscribe button or click on the frog icon on the video. Don't forget to click the bell to get notified of our future videos. And of course, please click on the thumbs up.
And remember, stay young and have fun.